As the administration of President Bola Tinubu intensify efforts to revive the economy, reports indicate that the impact of the weakness of the naira on the private sector remains strong. While employment was subdued for the second consecutive month, there were no changes in business confidence, which remained stagnant at 51 points at the end of March. According to reports, the rate of output inflation continues to rise since January, leading to increase in prices, when new businesses increased for the fourth month. Ikeo, help us with this.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's not what we didn't experience. I mean, we didn't expect. The last month, the purchasing power index showed no changes in terms of business confidence, as it stagnated at 51 points at the end of last month, the joint lowest in the last 4 months. Now, the report also says that the purchase costs rose at the sharpest rate on record, meaning that companies increased their selling prices at an unprecedented pace. When you have such a situation, companies will struggle to make profit, because every time you respond to prevailing economic situations by increasing prices, you must remember that the purchasing power of the average Nigerian is shrinking by the day. It means that they won't be able to buy as much as they used to buy. It means that even the services that you render to, more and more people will not show an interest in stepping forward to ask for a service, because a lot more people are busy with how to survive. Of course, when you talk about inflation, food inflation is a big issue. And companies producing food, they are battling with all kinds of problems at this time. The cost of production has gone up with the devaluation of our currency, because that's how we can describe it. With the devaluation of our currency, the cost of importing raw materials have gone up significantly. And that also means cost of production for manufacturers have gone up tremendously. Now, the issue of electricity tariff has also come into the picture. What it means is big companies, small companies in the band A category, the cost of production will go up in response to high energy costs. That will translate to higher prices. Higher prices will translate to lower demand. There's no way it won't lead to lower demand. There will be people who can afford what you are selling. There will be those who cannot afford it. It's a natural consequence of increase in prices. There are things that I used to buy that these days I no longer buy. For example, go into a department store or a mall and check the price of sardines. These sardines, some years back, on production nights, when I was editor of the news magazine, on production nights, I would go and buy bread, buy sardines, because sardines at that time was not even up to 100 naira. I would buy plenty of sardines to go with the bread and buy Lipton. We will eat bread with sardines. Everybody will have his own sardine because it was cheap. Everybody would hold on to a sardine, get his bread, we would drink tea and then the energy to continue the production, we will find it after eating, and we will not sleep till daybreak. We'll do the work. Today, if you go to check the price of sardines, oh my God, you will be shocked at how costly sardine is at this time. And so for me, what I used to consume every week, I no longer even go there. I no longer go there. There are many things like that. So manufacturers are describing this period as the toughest in history for them, that they've never had things this tough. Transport costs have gone up. Transport costs have gone up. Prices are rising sharply in response to the exchange rate. So this is the situation that manufacturers are dealing with, and investor confidence is also down. It will take a while for investor confidence to rebound, because that will come with the consistency of policies that make sense to them. If we achieve, if we achieve some consistency and we no longer have volatility in the foreign exchange market, that will improve investor confidence, and many of them will feel like coming to invest there. So a situation in which you don't know how much the naira will exchange for the dollar tomorrow is tough for people to plan. It's really, really tough for people to plan. Look at the way the CBN has been changing the customs rate, for example, custom duty rate. They keep changing it. Right. They changed the custom duty rate about 28 times in just about 2 months. So how does the investor, how does the manufacturer or the importer plan? You don't know what is going to be tomorrow. The Comptroller General of Customs has even complained that, look, it does not help planning. So there are all kinds of things, rising inflation, that have made the business environment extremely tough for our people. Only the very tough can keep going the way things are now.
All right, gentlemen, before we move on with our conversation, let's take this breaking news. Right, report reaching us says Pelumi Nubi, who is on a voyage from London to Lagos, has arrived in the state. She began her journey on January 31st, 2024, facing various obstacles along the way. These challenges included a 24-hour hold at the Liberian border and being denied entry into Sierra Leone last week. As a result, she has postponed her original return date from March 23rd, 2024 to April 7, 2024.
incredible. I am so excited to be home. The homecoming, the welcome has been amazing, and I'm so delighted. Thank you for such a warm welcome home. Honestly, I believe women can do anything they want, and it just affirms that. So this has just been really, really exciting to be doing this and to inspire the next generation to do the same.
Interesting feats there. We'll bring you more developments as that event unfolds. Right. BQ, just would you like to respond to that?
I would like to drive around the world like Ajala.
All right, let's go back to our conversation. Adeoye.
I'm impressed by this young lady of 28 years. Well, I think the country is passing through a very difficult moment, but not unexpected. I remember we had discussions on these issues, and I remember Babajide saying that before anybody, even before the election, that at least we are talking about 18 months before we can begin to see the impact of whoever might have emerged as the president last year. Well, I think we must realize that Nigeria has been in a big mess for a very long time. We have had leaders who had the best opportunities. They messed it up. At the time, there was oil boom. At the time, the quality of the naira was so high, the entire West Africa. At the time, Nigeria was destined it was a destination of investors. At the time, there was no Boko Haram, but we had these opportunities and we didn't make the best use of it. Now, in the past 15 years, Nigeria has passed through, I can say, one of the most difficult moments. Look at our foreign debt, over 41 billion USD. Look at our debt servicing ratio. Look at what has happened to security in the past 15 years, that the country was almost grounded. Terrorist attack that used to happen only in the northeast now spread to almost everywhere. And to the extent that, states like almost every state in Southwest, in southern part of the country, became a victim, one terrorist act or the other. Not to talk of the impact of natural consequences. Flooding that took place last year that destroyed farms. This is the time we are going to feel the impact, almost in almost every part of the country. Farmers lost, their fortunes, So I think lifting this country from a state of stupor, we should not delude ourselves. It's not going to be a tea party. It's really going to be very tough. And what happened last year compounded our problem. The economic earthquake that shook the country to its foundation. The unnecessary naira swap that made businesses to collapse. Banks are still suffering from that impact up to today. You go out now to withdraw money from your bank. You cannot get 20,000. It's not working. But go to POS outside, near that bank. You can get your 20,000 naira at a particular rate. Maybe you are going to ask you to pay 600 naira. So they completely mess up the fiscal system to the extent that to regain that lost fortune, it's not going to be easy. People lost interest in the banking sector. At the time, treasury bills, went down to as less as 6%, 70%, and 7%. I was in the bank last week, and I was impressed that now we are talking about 15 to 19%. It means that more people will be encouraged to bring their money into the banking system, which is a very good development. So I think slowly the country is going to regain the momentum, but it's going to be like a woman that wants to give birth. You need to expect yourself to see blood, before the bouncing baby will be delivered. So I think there are some positive steps. I was reading about the Lagos, Calabar,
Coastal Road.
Coastal Road, Lagos, Sokoto, 700 kilometers from here to, you can imagine jobs that will be created. And then the probing of the CBN for the first time, is a signal that it's not going to be business as usual. But it's a very tough time, but I hope that things will gradually improve as time goes on.